Hi, it's Eva Cartman, and you're listening to the Dream Big Podcast Show, the place to go to learn, laugh, and grow. Today, I am beyond thrilled to announce that legendary Laker, 5-time NBA champion, 18-time All-Star, and future Hall of Famer Kobe Bryant. Yes, you heard that right. Kobe Bryant is on the Dream Big Podcast. This is episode 103, Big Dreamers. You ready? It's time to dream big.
Welcome to the Dream Big Podcast Show. We're inspiring you to shoot for the moon, take aim and go. We bring to you amazing guests who truly love what they do. Every day they're living their dreams, and so can you. Dream big, take action to reach your goals. Are you pumped yet? It's showtime, let's rock and roll.
Hi, Big Dreamers. Before we jump into this week's episode with the one and only Kobe Bryant, I wanted to make a very quick announcement regarding the Dream Big Academy, a top secret course that my parents and I are developing, which will teach you success principles not taught in school and concepts that until now has only been taught to adults by adults. We are just a few weeks away from completing the first section of the course, which focuses on developing your superpower of self-belief. This is often referred to as confidence, but really it comes down to believing in yourself, knowing that you have unlimited potential, and teaching you how to train your brain to develop that self-belief muscle. If you want the first module for free, please go to dreambigpodcast.com/beta to get in our beta group. Again, that was dreambigpodcast.com/beta to be in our beta group. We are limiting the beta group to 50 students, and we are almost full. So if you want to get in, please sign up today. Okay, on to this week's very special guest. About a week ago, my dad walked into the living room with his jaw dropped. He said, "You're not going to believe this, but Kobe's manager reached out to us about coming to the Dream Big podcast. All the other guests we had on the show, we reached out and invited. So you can imagine the shock to find out that we were going to have Kobe on the show at his request. My dad was especially excited because he grew up in Los Angeles as a huge Lakers fan and even interned for the Lakers during the 2000-2001 championship season, where he had the opportunity to meet Kobe and saw his legendary work ethic firsthand. As you'll be hearing in the interview, Kobe has a new family-friendly podcast called the Punies. My family has been listening to it, and it should be no surprise that since Kobe put it out, the podcast is amazing. Sophia, what do you think about the Punies?
It's hilarious! I love the song! I love the stories! Great job, Kobe!
I agree, Sophia. Go to our show notes at dreambigpodcast.com/103 to get a link to the podcast, and I'm sure you can find it in Apple Podcasts as well. Okay, I imagine that almost everybody listening knows who Kobe is, but for our youngest Big Dreamers, he is one, if not the best basketball players ever to live. He played 20 years for the Los Angeles Lakers, getting drafted out of high school and playing for the Lakers his entire career. He brought the city of LA 5 NBA championships. This interview focuses on what Kobe has been doing since his retirement and how the next chapter of his life will be even more impactful than the time he spent as a Laker. Without further ado, here's my interview with Kobe Bryant. Hi, Kobe. Welcome to the Dream Big Podcast.
Hey, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We are so excited to have you on the show.
Thank you.
First off, I wanted to let you know that we live in Los Angeles, so obviously we're huge Laker fans. And actually, my dad interned for the Lakers PR department during the 2000-2001 championship season. So that's really cool. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so he always tells me about how amazing it was being there for that special season.
Oh, that's great.
So I wanted to thank you for everything that you did for the city of Los Angeles over your incredible 20-year career as a Laker.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Welcome. I also wanted to let you know that we have a mutual friend. You're one of the first guests on Cal Fussman's podcast, Big Questions, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and I was lucky enough to invite Cal on the Dream Big podcast, and then he had me on his podcast as well. Isn't he the best?
Cal is incredible. I absolutely love Cal. That's beautiful.
And Cal said that even though you have very different careers, you're one of the greatest basketball players that have ever lived.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and even though Cal would never say this, but I would say he's one of the best interviewers that has ever lived.
By far, not even close.
Yeah, that you both got along so well because while your backgrounds are different, you're both curious people and you love stories.
Yeah, that's the most important thing, isn't it? It's curiosity. You gotta have that curiosity.
Yeah, for sure. Why is it that you have chosen to make storytelling such an important part of this next chapter in your life?
Well, I have kids, and my kids get tired of hearing me preach the same messages to them. I'm trying to explain to my kids, what it means to work hard, or be competitive, or don't worry about the failure, just keep on working. And after a while, it becomes too preachy, and so I just kind of started writing stories to tell my kids that a subtle way of getting the message across that they can kind of learn for themselves versus me preaching all the time. And I absolutely enjoyed it. And from there, I started writing and creating more content, and here we are today.
Yeah, that's so cool that you have this whole passion outside of basketball.
Yeah, basketball taught me valuable life lessons about what I'm doing now, right? So like the patience and the commitment and the attention to detail, and also just the idea of just enjoying what you do, right? You have to love what you do. If you love what you do, you're excited about getting up every single morning and going to work, and it's your passion. And if you don't have that, then what you're doing becomes extremely challenging.
Yeah, you've got to be passionate about what you do. So your latest project is the Punies, a new family-friendly podcast that airs every Saturday morning. So, like the Dream Big podcast, you can find it on Apple Podcasts. We'll include all the links in our show notes. But can you share the concept of the show?
Yeah, so the show is about a group of kids that call themselves the Good Old Gang, or the GOGs for short. And it's about them using their imagination and playing sports and having fun. And through that fun and through playing sports, they meet different challenges every single episode that they have to overcome individually, but also collectively. And that's what the show's about. It's about kids having a good old time playing sports.
So cool. And actually, as the time of this being recorded, Big Dreamers, the first 2 episodes have been released. So go check them out. And Kobe, my dad and I listened to them, and they were so much fun.
Thank you.
We love the show that even though there are important lessons in there, how to conquer your fears and stepping up even when you're anxious, the episodes are really funny.
Oh, thank you. It's important to make the humor a natural one. So like when you hear the conversation, that's actually how my daughters speak. Like same kind of sarcasm and little jabs of humor here and there, and also the music. Like the songs just get stuck in our head. Like my daughter will walk around singing Lily's Lemonade all day long.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
Yeah, Lily has a lot of energy.
Actually, my dad and I were really addicted to the opening theme song, and yeah, all the characters of the Good Old Gang, the voices are unique and hilarious.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, our actors were absolutely incredible. And, the thing about it is we tried to find, actors that haven't lost that childlike quality and imagination and fun, right? Because sometimes the older you get, I feel like the most important thing is to protect your imagination, to protect your curiosity. And we found actors that were able to do that. And so they were able to step into this world and become Lily and become Clark and become Kimberly and Puny and Gordon. So, I just had a blast with them.
What my dad and I noticed is that the main character, Puny Pete, does not always win at the end of every episode. Can you share why it is an important theme for big dreamers to know how to deal with both winning and losing in life?
Well, because it's important to understand how to bounce back from adversity, right? It's understanding how to go through triumphs and those sorts of things, successes. That those tend to come naturally, but a lot of times the failure and being able to accept the fear that you have within yourself is a little more challenging. So it's important for us to show that, and also to show how Puny, even though he may not succeed every single time, still has the determination to bounce back and try again. And also the support from his friends. And his friends will be very honest with him. BB is very direct and very honest, but she cares about him deeply, and they'll always do things to rally around each other and support each other.
We always stress on the show that achieving your big dreams in life will not be easy, that you'll have ups and downs, so not giving up and learning how to keep pushing towards your dreams is such an important skill and a clear lesson of the show. Also, how your friends always help you along the way.
Yeah, it's important to have that support, isn't it, right? People kind of helping you along and being in a community that understands that success does not come easy, and that failure should be equally embraced as your successes, right? Because it's all part of a journey. It's a nonstop journey. And that's extremely important.
Yeah, like one of the main themes in the show is the importance of teamwork and how you can accomplish great things when you work together. And obviously you have assembled an amazing team to create the Punies.
Yeah, I was very fortunate to have some great actors, great producers, great writers. John Holler did a phenomenal job writing the scripts. Matt Mauser in creating the melodies and those catchy tunes that you listen to. I mean, he's done an absolutely phenomenal job with that. And and just like in the show, you have everybody that's collectively rallying around each other for a common goal. You wind up having a lot of fun doing it, and the results tend to be enjoyable for others.
Yeah, and I heard you actually won an Oscar for Dear Basketball, and you partnered with legendary animator Glenn Keane and composer John Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, you had friends from the Lakers. You had friends like Shaq and Pau and Coach Phil Jackson.
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey so far. And, but I mean, I've been very fortunate to work with some great people in different industries, right? From Phil Jackson to Pau Gasol to Shaq and to now with Glenn Keane and John Williams. And it's just been a phenomenal journey. But again, it's a journey that one can't take on his own, right? You surround yourself with great people, people that have a common curiosity, and you just continue to push forward and figure things out.
Yeah, in life you can do so much more if you work with people than if you try to do it by yourself, right?
Exactly right.
And I know you have a lot of interviews to get to, and we only have a few minutes. So for my final question, I wanted to ask you a question I like to ask all our guests. You spent most of your life in basketball and reached the very top of the game. What I would like to know, and what I'm sure all Kobe fans would like to know, is what is your big dream for the future, for this next chapter in life?
My big dream for the future, if I could fast forward, if I get stopped on the street, when I'm 65 years old, right? 65, 70 years old, I get stopped on the street by a person that has a young child with them, and they come to me and they say, the stories that you have created have helped me learn important life lessons for me to become the man that I am today. And those same stories are the stories that I'm sharing with my son and my daughter right now. That to me is a massive success.
Amazing. Well, I can see with Dear Basketball and the Punies, you're well on your way. Thank you so much for coming.
You got it, Eva. Thank you for having me.
Big Dreamers, thank Kobe for coming on and talking to us. And make sure you go check out the Punies. You can find it in Apple Podcasts or go to our show notes, and we'll link over to it. Kobe, next time you see Cal, give him a hug from us and tell him to go get you an ice cream. Because after me and my mom did interviews with Cal, he got us an ice cream. So tell him to get you an ice cream.
Oh, I love that. That's a great idea. Thank you. And give a big hug to your father for me.
Okay. Thank you. Bye. How cool is that? Thank you to Kobe Bryant for taking time out of his very busy schedule to talk to a 9-year-old podcast host. I know the Punies is going to be a smashing success no matter what. And I think it shows how awesome Kobe is that he agreed to come on the Dream Big podcast. Be sure to check out our show notes at dreambigpodcast.com/103 for links to the Punies podcast and everything else we discussed in the episode. Did you enjoy this special episode with Kobe? If so, please tell your friends and family about the Dream Big podcast. They can find this episode at dreambigpodcast.com/103. And please do take a few moments to leave us a review as well at dreambigpodcast.com/iTunes. We really appreciate your reviews, and it helps us grow the show. Finally, if you are interested in being part of the beta group of the Dream Big Academy, please go to dreambigpodcast.com/beta to sign up, and you'll get the first section for free. I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Dream Big Podcast. This is Eva Cartman reminding you that you have unlimited potential. Your dreams are not optional, you need to make them essential. So take massive action to turn those big dreams into reality. Live with passion, the way life is meant to be. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!